Hi, it's Jahara. Welcome back to my channel, to the Witchy Reader. So I haven't really talked about my books lately, except for in my writing vlogs. So I thought I'll talk about my published books, so I can shed some light in them. So there is I'm getting better at editing, so I'm going to try to show them. So I have Jasmine Perez and the Wicked Sorceress, which is the first book in my Jasmine Perez series. In this book, Jasmine, I'm not gonna be all spoilery, and this isn't a spoiler anyways because it happens at the very beginning. But she finds out she has magic just as this sorceress comes from nowhere and kidnaps her entire kingdom, and all except for two servants that manage to escape, and Jasmine has to flee with those two servants as they go on this journey. So as she practices her magic and finds a way to save her people, stop Lilac. And Jasper's in Another Realm is about her being in another realm. I'm not gonna get too much into the other books in the series because they could be spoilery, but she is trapped in another realm basically, and she's trapped in there for half the book. She eventually gets back to her other realm and has a showdown with Lilac, but that isn't the end of it, obviously, because the next book is Jasmine Perez and the Enchantress. And I'm not going to get into the Enchantress part of the book, but it's the final book in the trilogy, so she has her final showdown eventually. But things are worse for Jasmine because book 2 she goes through hell. I'm not going to say how because spoilers, but so she kind of goes through PTSD and anxiety in book 3, which is shown a lot, and which I like because I feel like a lot of fantasy, the main character goes through hell, but we don't see the aftermath of them going through hell. We see her go through that, and then there is another book in the series, but this is the prequel, a kind of villain origin story about Lilac and Rosemary and Alex. Alex is mentioned in book 3, but he's long dead at this point, and which isn't a spoiler. I mean, technically it is, but before the prequel, you already know he's dead. So you know his story doesn't turn out exactly great. Lilac is obviously the villain, and Rosemary is on in these series. But that's a complicated story for another time. It shows Lilac as a little girl at the beginning. It kind of does some time jumps, so you see Lilac's progression towards the darker path, and you can see that clearly. And what happens with Rosemary and Alex, you get to see how it all unfolds because you do get a little bit about the story throughout the series, but you get to see it actually happen in the prequel book, which is called Pierce of Heart, The Tale of Two Sisters, because they are legend, and their legend that Jasmine and her friends find out about is called Tale of Two Sisters, and their last name is Hart, or not Hart, Pierce. So Pierce of Heart, Tale of Two Sisters. So yeah, that's why I titled that. Then there's my Duology, which is also published, which is a whole other series, not with Jasmine Perez. It's a whole other new project, not really that new anymore, but still kind of new. But the first book is called The Curse's Light, which is about Skylar Prescott. She is in this small town that's cursed, but nobody believes her. She's known as the town's crazy girl. No one can enter or leave the town, but no one really wants to leave the town, so no one really knows about the curse or believes in it, except for Skylar. And then one day, Will's driving through, and he finds himself inside the town, and now he can't leave. And he ends up befriending Skylar and helps her with this whole curse business. There's a lot of LGBTQIA plus representation by an LGBTQIA plus author. Skylar is asexual biromantic, Andrea is asexual homoromantic, Althea is a lesbian, Logan and David are gay and are a couple. Althea and Andrea is also a couple. Then Will's pretty much the only straight guy. Then there's Sydney, I almost forgot to mention her, who's aromantic. So yeah, plenty of LGBTQIA plus representation if any of you are looking for fantasy with that. Back to the story. I don't know if you guys will figure it out reading it, because someone made a comment about how the curse didn't seem that important till later on, like it didn't have any side effects. So it's like, but that's because the curse is seen through the townspeople instead of Skylar. Skylar believes in the curse, but you don't. The curse doesn't seem to have that big of an effect on the town until the end, until you find out the grand scheme and why the curse is in place, which is all revealed in the Witch of Light. You see the curse through the town's eyes, which so the reader may see it as just this normal town, normal small town, but it's not. And so it might even have the reader question if the curse is even real, if the MC really is crazy. Um, so yeah, that was an interesting viewpoint to write it from, but I really enjoyed it. And then the sequel is called The Witch of Light. It just gets back right into the story, like right after everything that happened. And you get a little bit more into some side characters that wasn't really in the first book that much, like Andrea and Althea weren't in the first book that much. Neither was David, but the three of them get a bigger part in this book, especially Althea. But yeah, so, and that's kind of the conclusion. There will be a sequel series, which I have not published yet, but which I have started, that will follow Andrea. She will be the main character. And yeah, but these both series were a lot of fun to write, and I really hope you guys pick them up. They're available on Amazon. I hope you enjoy them if you do pick them up. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment, and I'll talk to you guys later.